I would say definitely. I think the fact that we've been here for 14 years says that that we have rejected and pushed away overtures from others because we enjoy working and being clients with you, there's always something new coming up. You're innovative. You're good at what you do as a team. I cannot complain at the performance returns. They're pretty much what Rob said they would be 14 years ago. Our average annual return is about the same. And so no complaints from that perspective. As I said, we have no issues.
No.
So if that's unique, there you go.
You recognize the value of having us on your, not on your team,
as
but
customers,
as clients.
Clients, right?
We've spoken with other friends that have different consultants, and I'm sure that their portfolio is at least as much, if not more, in value, and yet they just don't seem to ever be recognized. And it's just really nice to get that little something delivered to your house, or
a dinner,
or a dinner.
It's camaraderie, I think, as much as it is business, and it's very nice to see that. We all know it comes out of the fees, right, and such. But it's a very nice perk to be recognized by. And I think, and as Roberta was saying, I don't think that we've spoken to anybody who has that kind of. Several people quite actually, you see the eyebrows raised when they hear of what some of the things that we get, and it's just nice to get it. But after a while, when the companies get so big, you lose that personal touch, and you've certainly got it here, and it's very nice to see it. You don't see it very often anymore.
But it does. It really does make you feel special.
Yeah. As we did this in 2001, and to a lesser extent when we came to see Rob, two things. You need to do your homework. So you need to know and investigate the potential advisors you're looking to look to their track record, any comments that may be on websites these days. But more importantly to me, and I think to both of us here, is that you need to be able to develop a rapport with your particular advisor or team, which means you need to interview them. And I think that that's probably the biggest and the most valuable advice I would give, is to have anybody make an appointment, meet with them, ask some questions. The question I asked was, well, how would you set up our financial retirement plan, and what sort of things would you advise us to do that we're doing differently? Quite a wide open question, but at least something to get the advisor probing, you then judge on the basis of what you hear. And at the end of the day, it probably comes down to a gut feeling. Who do you like best? Right? Who do you see would be a good personal and personality fit with you, and who can you trust? It's all about trust at the end of the day.
For me, it's common knowledge, I think, certainly around the table when we're in our meetings, that I don't know as much. Our family has always been one where I looked after the day-to-day financials, and Howard has looked after the investments. So I sit usually very quiet in the meetings. I go to all the meetings and I listen and probably absorb more than I'm giving myself credit for. But I am very confident and comfortable that if anything was to happen to Howard and I was having to deal by myself with Rob or the team, I would have no hesitation whatsoever.
And Rob's always got time to explain something. If he uses a acronym or a phrase that either of us don't know, we don't feel uncomfortable asking what it is, and he'll take time and explain it to us, explain the consequences of them and the nuances. And he's very good at that, putting your mind at ease.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to tell you when things are turning bad either, which is another thing that it's not always roses. We know that. We've had down years, and he's not afraid to, and he doesn't sugarcoat it. and just tells you like it is, and that's what I want. I don't want to be I don't want to have the blanket pulled over us, do we? Right. In 2014, Roberta and I relocated to Calgary for about a year. So we'd been with Rob and his team for over 7 years at that period of time. And this was all before Zoom became a household word, and before we all knew how to do video conferencing easily. Rob's carried on with his quarterly meetings that he always does out there with us, using I think it was Go-To meetings in those days. And so we'd have a screen up on our computer, would have all of the financials on it. He's either speaking to us over that or over the phone, and it was like we were in the same room, wasn't it? Yeah. So there was no difference in the quality of the meetings, the understandability, all I can say is from that period forward, your team seems to be continually adding new and better programs, options, things for us to do that are to do with the financials, new ways of looking at things. It's very refreshing to see all of this, the research that must go on behind the scenes to get these new tools in place for us. And it's good to see it that you're not stagnating. You're always thinking and trying to get a little better, and that's very positive in my opinion. In 2001, we were looking around for a new series of advisors. I'd had experience of 4 or so before, and Roberta, I think, a couple before we were married. We had advisors who were from banks typically, and they always seemed more interested in selling shares than looking after our own good. And our funds kept going down in value, and nobody seemed to be really concerned. So we went out and looked for a new advisor to help us in 2001. And we met Assante actually at the Aurora Home Show. That's where we came across him, of all places. Met Flavel, who was the King City advisor at that point in time, and decided after a series of interviews and discussions that he was the right person to deal with us. Fast forward 6 years, he retires, and Rob and his team acquired the business, and we joined with Rob. And have just gone upwards and onwards ever since. It's been a great relationship. In our experience, the service level with Rob's team has always been excellent. He and his staff and his colleagues are all cheerful. They're happy to see you when you walk through the door. They are very responsive when it comes to requests you may have, questions you may have, or things we need to get done. Usually it happens within the day or within the next day. Nothing ever seems to be too much trouble. And when your folks will reach out to my accountant in Calgary for a discussion, they do it. And it's just it's the kind of service that you would hope to give someone else yourself.
It's our anniversary today, actually. Not our anniversary, but our anniversary with Rob. With the mother company, Assante. November 5th, 2001 is when
20 years ago today. I look back and I keep turning RBC away, and all these guys that they keep calling you. We can do this for you. Great, thank you. I'm just fine, thank you. So when we came to Rob in 2007, we had experience of Assante's King City operations and liked it, and we assumed we would get more of the same. However, it didn't take us long to realize that Rob's team offered a lot more than we were used to, such as advice on insurance. He advised us to get in touch, have our accountant get in touch with him, and so on and so forth. So a lot of value-added services that we weren't expecting or used to. And in talking with in our social circle, very few of the folks that we've met get that kind of service offered to them elsewhere. And I think that we're seeing the benefit of that extra service. Obviously in great returns. We've had great returns recently, but we've had long-term great returns. And I think more importantly, though, we've got a very sound tax strategy that's been developed between your team and our accountant and ourselves. And I continually say no when the phone rings and somebody's saying, "I've got a great deal for you."
We've never, ever felt like we are just a number in this company, which I think is the way you can feel in a lot of these large corporations. I mean, this isn't large in the sense it is of the mother company, but not the team that we work with. But we've always felt sort of like family.
I think that I've always felt that that Rob and his team have always had our interests at heart first. And it's obviously a business, so they need to make some money, but they certainly do look after our interests that are very keen to make it better and concerned when things don't go well. You can't ask for more than that.